Come to stand towards the front of your mat, feet hip-width distance, and standing up nice and tall, you're invited to go ahead and close your eyes. If you want to go ahead and begin to challenge your balance, you could bring the feet side by side or even maybe step the right leg in front of the left, so heel to toes, or the left in front of the right. And close the eyes and just start to notice how your balance is already working, just with your eyes closed, standing here. And if you have chosen a stance that is maybe a little bit more challenging and you're finding yourself wobbling, just notice the beliefs that comes up, the thoughts that arise. Like all those thoughts, all those feelings that we experience, they come from some underlying belief that maybe something's not right, maybe I'm not good enough. And you're invited just to challenge all of those kinds of thoughts that come up and rewrite those beliefs with questions, with curiosity, or just with new beliefs, like, I am enough. I am the shit, even if I am wobbling a little. All right, wherever you are, just open your eyes, take a deep breath in, and bring your feet hip-width distance if they're not already. And we're going to begin just giving ourselves a little sensory shower, as I like to call it. So rubbing around the left arm with the right hand, and maybe taking a really deep breath in. Let the exhale be natural. This is helping to set our extensor tone, maybe moving down the left arm or the right arm, whatever. Inhale deeply. Let the exhale be natural. I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm breathing a little bit more than I'd like through my mouth, but try and keep your breaths through your nose as much as possible. Come all the way down the left leg, and as you inhale, maybe lean your body over to the left so that as you inhale, you can breathe into the right side body. Maybe fill in a little bit more air into the lungs, and then exhale, swing through center and lean over to the right. Inhale sharply into the left side body. Maybe a little bit more, still rubbing down that leg, still getting the sensory input, and relax down through center. Maybe get through the inner thighs or the back of the legs as you rise all the way up. And release. Bring your arms straight out in front of you, fingertips pointing up, and really pull your wrists into extension as much as possible. So back of the hands, back of the fingers, you're reaching towards your face as much as possible. And move into flexion and extension a few times. And it might be a little bit harder actually if you make a fist. It's up to you, just play around. Maybe you're doing figure eights. Maybe you're doing full wrist circles. There's different little options that we can take here. If you're doing the wrist circles, palm stays down, wrist doesn't move, so no twisting. All right, so once you're getting a nice little warmth building through the wrists, bring the fingertips pointing back up. Shift your weight into the left leg and just keep your right leg straight. Just pull the foot as high off of the mat as you can. Then switch over to the right leg, pull the left leg up. 2 more like that each side. Nice and slow, just getting those hip muscles warm, the level of warmth maybe coming close to the wrists, maybe not. And can you, pausing while we have our weight on the left leg, take a side bend over to the right and breathe into the left side body, just like we did before. Breathe a little bit more. Fill up the lungs as much as possible. Good. Exhale, lower the right foot down, step into the right foot, lift the left leg up. Take a side bend, so lengthening through the right side body. Inhale. A little bit more. Fill up more than you think you can. Challenge your beliefs about what your lungs are capable of. Good. Release back down and just keep shifting. But begin to bend the knee so you're kicking your butt. And we're going to make this more and more like an upward facing dog. So maybe you come up onto the tiptoes as you kick your butt with the other leg. And maybe you start to press the chest up towards the ceiling and the hips up towards your wrists, getting a little bit more of an arch through the spine, and possibly a little bit more of a balance challenge. And maybe even starting to look up to the ceiling as you kind of do this like an upward facing dog position through the upper body. And inviting those opportunities to challenge our limiting beliefs if we wobble, if we fall. All right, come back through center. Oh man, I've moved way away from where I thought I was on my mat. Clasp your hands behind your head, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring the chin to the chest and just roll yourself down. Allow the knees to bend if that feels nice. Roll a little bit tighter as if you're trying to get your elbows to move up and touch your hip bones. And then release, lowering the hands down. Step the left foot back, but come onto the top of the left foot. You're welcome to just stay here. Maybe kind of wiggle around that left ankle, opening up through the front of the foot. If it's comfortable, maybe you rise up. We're just here for a breath. Take an inhale, exhale. Hands go back down if they've lifted up. Can you step back with the right foot into a plank on the tops of the feet? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, begin to press the sit bones forward towards the wrists. Press the chest forward. Finding that upward facing dog position. And then lift up out of it about 10%. So you're holding yourself in space with strength. Can you pull the left heel to your butt? So same little movement that we did before. And then lower it down, right heel to butt. If this is just way too much, try it with the toes tucked under. Okay, it'll give you a little bit more stability. If you want to add on, twist. So look to your right foot as it lifts towards your face. Look over your left shoulder as you lift the left leg up. All right, we're here for another 5 breaths. So maybe you've lowered down to seal, but if you want to add on, take the head up and over as you switch between right and left. Just noticing the world passing you by. Make sure you're breathing and your low back is supported because you're still lifting about 10% up out of that upward facing dog. Good. When you're done, we're just gonna lift up and back, downward facing dog. Good job. Make the movements that you feel serve you and your body here in this down dog. You got 2 more breaths. Good. On your next inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step it between the hands, rise up, crescent lunge. And lean forward as you straighten the right knee, just ever so slightly. Think of this as a downward facing dog. And then move into an upward facing dog by bending the left knee, using that as a kickstand, and thinking about creating an arch through the spine as you press the arms forward, finding it almost like an upward dog shape. So reaching the arms up overhead, straightening the right knee as you find a down dog shape, and then bending that back knee to arch and find that up dog shape. So a few more like that, moving back and forth in your own pace. Again, you can challenge your balance by taking your head up as you lean back, or maybe even closing your eyes. All right, one more time from that up dog position. We're gonna move into a sort of thunderbolt. So bending in that right knee, reaching the arms straight forward. Start to shift your weight into the right foot, rolling over the toes of the left foot, coming onto the top of the left foot. Stay there, or imagine that you can push down on some energy and you start to lift up into a warrior 3. And maybe you even turn this warrior 3 into a bit of an up dog shape. So lifting the chest up as the hips still stay down by the wrists, lifting that left leg up. Take an inhale. Can you lift a little bit higher? Good. Exhale. Left toes come down as the hands go down. Lower the left knee as you take the right leg all the way back behind you. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower the chin down forward of your hands. Maybe the chest comes down between your thumbs. Maybe you want to pause here, or perhaps it feels good to kind of shimmy your left knee a bit closer towards your hands.
And then you can play around with lifting that left knee up. Maybe just enjoying the stretch through the back of the left leg, or maybe even play around with kicking. Do a little chins down. When you're ready, so come out of that and bring yourself to a three-legged down dog, right leg lifted, take an inhale. As you exhale, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Let the left foot come to the outside of the left hand. Maybe find a little squat. Rise up to stand. Feet nice and wide as you press the hands away from you. Like you're like, stop limiting beliefs. I would rather have a mind opened by wonder than closed by belief. And when you're ready, begin kicking your butt side to side, maybe pressing your chest forward, lifting your hips up towards your hands, taking the head back, moving quickly, moving slowly, just playing around. And when you're ready, we'll finish that. Just keep it short this time. Clasp your hands behind your head, take an inhale. Exhale, bring the elbows in. Bring the chin to the chest as you roll yourself down. Just stretching along the whole back. And lifting the elbows up for a tighter little curl up. And then releasing the hands down. This time step the right foot back. Come onto the top of the right foot. Stay there. Maybe just wiggle around. Or rise up if you want for a breath. Exhale. Step the left foot back to meet the right. So top of the feet plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, begin to gently, mindfully press the hips towards the wrists in your upward facing dog. Lift up out of it about 5% this time. And just like before, start to kick your butt. And we're gonna add on, so looking over your shoulder, maybe taking the head to look up towards the sky as you go back and forth. And maybe that's enough, but if you want to, you can also add spinning all the way around, finding a little wild thing, keeping the hips low as you go through your up dog and into your wild thing. So to really help with our vestibular system, which is such a huge part of how we balance, it can be useful to pay attention to an object that's moving, such as your hand, but let your awareness be on the periphery, so the kind of background moving behind your hand. All right, from your upward facing dog, wherever you are, take one more breath. Lift the eyes up towards the eyebrows and exhale. One more inhale. Nice and strong in your up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You got 3 breaths here. Do what you need to do. All right, on your next inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, step it between the hands, rise up, crescent lunge. Nice and normal for a moment. Now let's get out of normal. Straighten the left knee as you reach forward. Think down dog through the left side of the body. And then up dog, bending that right knee, leaning back. Down dog, up dog. Once you get a sort of a feel for the movements, maybe you start to play around with lifting your gaze up to the ceiling. Again, this is just great to challenge the vestibular system. And through challenge, of course, we grow, as long as it's not so challenging that it becomes threatening. So look for threat responses like dizziness, headache, just feeling like you're gonna pass out. Those are all reasons to just slow it down a bit. All right, we're gonna finish leaning the chest forward, bend into the left knee. Start to shift more weight into the left leg. So you come onto the top of the right foot. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you can lean all of your weight into the left leg. Right leg lifts up. Take the arms down. Imagine that you're pushing against something so you can straighten that left knee and start to lift the chest up. Just think
you're in an upward facing dog. You're just floating through. Maybe you're flying on a magic carpet. All right, lower the right foot down, hands go down. Right knee goes down as the left leg goes long behind you. A breath here. And when you're ready, lower the chest towards the thumbs.
The chin comes down first. I find that most helpful. Then you can kind of start to sink your chest down between your thumbs. Shimmy. That would be your right leg, perhaps. Maybe your right knee comes up, you just enjoy the stretch. Or maybe you want to play around with a chin stand. If you're doing that, keep in mind, it may be easier not having your chest
actually on the mat, but the weight is primarily in your hands. You're pressing your hands. It's really an arm balance. The chin just acts as a kickstand. When you're ready, come back to your three-legged down dog. Your left leg is lifted. Take an inhale. Exhale, step that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Sink down, Malasana. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift the hips up. Maybe give yourself another little bit of sensory input through the legs as you slowly roll yourself up to stand. Keep the feet wide as you press the hands out in front of you. Come up onto the tiptoes, perhaps squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips forwards towards up, forwards and up towards the wrists as you lift the chest up, and maybe even start to slowly take your gaze, just finding this kind of upward facing dog shape that's been flipped around. So we're not prone anymore, we're standing up, but just see how long you can hold it, maybe how far back you can go, feeling totally in control. Probably be able to go further back if you abandon the whole tiptoes thing. But when you're ready, coming back up with control, maybe give everything a good little shake. And take a few moments to breathe, resetting your breath, resetting your body, resetting your mind, so that you can go into maybe doing this flow again, maybe another flow with me, or just into the world with this reset and an open-mindedness and curiosity, a sense of wonder.